Hi to you all. Every now and again, we read in the newspaper a headline that tells a story about somebody who's experienced bullying. Unfortunately, bullying is not something that happens every once in a while. It is something that happens to hundreds of thousands of people every single day. In fact, right now, as I'm talking to you, there are quite a number of people being bullied. Somebody you know today is likely to have been bullied, although they are not likely to tell you about it. It's common, and it affects people from all ages. It affects people in school and children. It impacts adults. It occurs in the workplace, and it also, unfortunately, is quite frequent amongst the elderly. Bullying of elderly people is more common, unfortunately, than we'd like to think. Okay, so what is a bully? A bully is somebody who wants to control you. And they want to control you in order to get you to do what they want you to do. In order to bully, a bully will seek out a position of power over you. It may be a formal position of power, such as in a family situation or in a workplace, but it may also be an informal position of power where they might use personal characteristics, who they are, money, and various other aspects to exert some power over you. The bully will then form allies. They will seek other people out. They will manipulate the truth. They will lie. They will spread stories about you, the victim, in order to get these allies to support them. And the bully will convince the allies through their stories and their tales and their lies, and they are masterful manipulators of the truth. They will convince their allies that they are fantastic and you, the person being bullied, is just awful. So it's not usually just one bully on their own. Bullies will actually try and deliberately get allies. They will feed them stories to make them believe you are the bad person and they are wonderful, and they'll use that group against you. Now, confronting a bully is very difficult. If you try and confront a bully, they're either going to play all innocent, who, me? Or else they are going to pretend that they are the victim themselves and that you, in fact, are bullying them. Okay, now, if bullying is occurring, it occurs in a specific situation, and if you are going to deal with it, you do need to understand the situation or you can go about it wrong. You need to understand the situation. What is the position of power? Who are the allies that the bully has grouped? Who are the people they are busy lying to and manipulating for them to get support and for a group of you now to dislike the person, the victim who's being bullied? In this video, this is really directed at adults. If you are a child, you don't really have the emotional capacity or the intellectual knowledge to deal with a bully. So if you are a child, you need to seek out an adult that you trust and tell them what's going on. And carry on telling them what's going on until somebody intervenes. If you are an adult and a child comes to you with telling you stories about how they are being bullied, please don't ignore them. Even if they're not your child, do something. Okay, but as I said, this video is primarily for adults, and that is, what do you do if you are being bullied? Or if your child is being bullied, or you know somebody is being bullied. Okay, the first thing is, if you are being bullied, you need emotional support. Don't try and do it alone. It's too hard. The whole situation of bullying is the bully turns a group of people against you, and they work very specifically on making you feel alone. You need the emotional support, but you also need the support of somebody else to be able to see what's going on. When you are being bullied, the bully's modus operandi is to get you to doubt yourself, to decrease your sense of self-esteem and confidence, so you will do exactly what they want. And so you are quite likely, after being bullied, to start wondering after a period of time, is there something wrong with me? Am I losing it? Am I maybe getting this all wrong? So the bullying is going to get you to doubt yourself and to doubt your sense of reality, which is another reason why don't go it alone. You need another person with you, not only for the emotional support, but also as an objective observer who can actually see what is going on. If you do not have a family member or a friend or somebody that you can talk to, please reach out to organizations. Organizations which are anti-abuse have a lot of experience in this as well. Just don't keep it to yourself and don't try and sort it out all on your own. Bullies prey on people who are mostly alone. So a lot of people who are being bullied will be people who are alone a lot, people who are single, people who tend to be isolated and perhaps different in some way in a school environment or a work environment, but they're people who are not part of the popular crowd. And these are the people that bullies pick on. So if you are being bullied, make sure wherever you go in a group. A bully is not likely to pick on you if you're part of a group. Okay, the other aspect, and we've mentioned it, confronting a bully doesn't work because they will play innocent and they will claim that they're the victim. And bullies are unbelievable liars. If you and I need to deal with an issue with somebody, a normal person, whatever, who knows what a normal person is, but let's say a fairly sane and decent person, you will sit down, you will have a discussion, and you will sort it out. You pretty much can't do that with a bully because they're always right. And the person being bullied is always wrong. So what you need to do if you are going to deal with bullying is you must collect evidence. You cannot go, he said, she said, because it's not going to go anywhere. So collect the evidence. And these days, with the technology advancements, phone cameras, videos on your phone, recordings, emails, CCTV cameras, there's a lot of ways in which you can collect evidence, and you must. Because hard evidence is the only way to actually confront the bully and the people surrounding the bully with what is really happening. And you need to be quite disciplined about collecting this evidence as well. So record the date, the time, who was involved in the situation. Keep your evidence, have lots of backups of it, because this is what is going to help you to get the bullying to stop. Now, South African law and disciplinary procedures in the workplace and school and generally works on what is called progressive discipline. So you really want to start by having a discussion with the bully. Once again, do not go alone. If you think the bully is going to be violent, then take security people with you. You don't want to sit there and get injured or killed. Okay, but the first step that is expected is that you will actually go, preferably a group of you, to the bully and confront them and tell them to stop. This needs to be very clear and very direct and very straightforward and no misunderstandings. So it's a case of saying, this is what is going on. This is not acceptable for XYZ reasons. stop it. If you don't stop it, these will be the consequences. Now, the bully can react in a whole lot of different ways to being confronted by a group of people. Some of them may actually be quite shocked and may actually not realize they have behaved so badly, and it may stop. In which case, good, the problem is solved. But at the other extreme, you get bullies who may have spent 10 years in jail, who may have had 30 years of therapy and still think that they have every right to bully somebody else. In which case, you need to escalate it. If you're at school, I really and truly hope your school does not condone bullying, and you can escalate it higher and higher until somebody actually deals with it. And if you are in the workplace, I sincerely hope your workplace does not condone bullying, and then you can escalate it as well. Society actually does not condone it either. In South Africa, we have the Intimidation Act, which defines what intimidation is. And if you're found guilty of it, you are fined and/or there's a jail sentence. So you are not allowed to intimidate people. Same way, there's a Harassment Act. So there are criminal procedures that can be followed if somebody doesn't stop bullying. And of course, there are civil cases as well. Bullying has a massive impact on people, and it's negative, and it has a negative impact on those people, families, friends, colleagues who are surrounded by the person who is being bullied or who are surrounding them. So please, you need to deal with it. The newspaper headlines usually point out when something drastic happens, but being bullied is a horrible experience. For the victim, they come home at night, they go to bed in fear of what the bully is going to do the next day. They wake up in the morning terrified of what's going to happen that day. They go through the day, through their schoolwork, through their work, through the motions, fearful of what the bully is going to do to them. Their lives are traumatic. Being bullied has a very big impact. It increases anxiety, it usually increases depression, it increases stress, it has very negative impacts on your physical health. It interferes with schoolwork, with studies, with work performance, and with your relationships. And unfortunately, as we've seen, bullying can result in death, either because the bully turns violent and kills the victim, or because the victim is so frightened, so traumatized, so terrified that they don't see any way out of their hell other than to commit suicide. If you are being bullied, please get help and continue getting help until it can be dealt with, because it needs to stop. If you have been bullied and no longer are being bullied, you still may have some negative consequences as a result of the bullying. So also then consider getting some help as well. Usually I quite enjoy my videos and it's quite a lot of fun. I must say, this has been one of the most harrowing of all to do. So till I see you again, keep well and take care.